Jah Oil. The company have filling stations across the country, and our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Jah Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market.
Axel jam si Wave.
Yo, apply. Yo, luta do de. Luta mo nulo jël moto nga andil ma xaalis. Hello?
Bisul mu fine.
What?
Bisul mu fine.
Oh, yes!
Wave Axina Gambia. Deposit and withdraw money, pay bills and buy mobile credit without fees. Transfer money wherever in the country for only 1% fee. At Wave. Bisul mu fine? Wave. Your money is yours.
It's a minute and a half past 9 o'clock. My next guest is the Honorable Minister of Transport, Works, Infrastructure, Honorable Ebrima Sillah. He's here ready to talk about ferries, the latest updates. He's ready to talk about the port concession. He's ready to talk about airport concession, naturally roads project, and also tackle issues surrounding KMC's intention to construct new roads in the municipality, but they keep telling us they are being obstructed by the authorities, NRA, but also, I suppose on a higher level, the policies on road networks. But before we get into that, Alaji Baro is here, and I like to play Alaji Baro always before a government minister. And I'm about to do that. But let me just say that I've never seen or heard about Alaji Baro scratching his head for something to speak about on Coffee Time, but it happened to him last night as he sat down to write his essay. However, it's not what you think. It was not for a lack of what to write about. On the contrary, he was spoiled for choice with so many things happening at the same time in this colonial space known to you and me as the Gambia. All right, I'll let Alaji fill us in on the details. Alaji.
This morning, I woke up wondering what to write about. Should I write about the terrible experience of our pilgrims in Mecca and the pitiful and heartless denial of the Ministry of Lands? Or should I write about our government sending our citizens to Saudi Arabia since they failed to provide them jobs or create the space for these women to work in their homeland? I wondered if I should write about the Serekunda market shop owners and their clash with street vendors. I briefly thought about the farmers not getting paid and feeling very guilty right after I decided against writing that because I didn't have enough information. I thought about writing about the CDS commanding his soldiers to shoot to kill. But since I didn't see the army release any press release clarifying his statements, I want to believe the CDS would not give such an unlawful command again. I also wondered if I should tackle GRTS, doing what they used to do for Yaya Jammeh and are now doing for Adama Barrow. I would have included how several government entities used taxpayer funds to support the then ruling APRC and are now doing the same for the NPP. Then it occurred to me that these are issues I had mentioned in my book, The Dictator is Us. I realized there was nothing I could think of today that I hadn't already written about. So I decided to text a friend and ask if he had anything on his mind that was worth discussing. He sent me a photo of a mansion supposedly owned by one senior government official in a foreign land. Then the topic came to mind, the fallacy of public or civil service, or what I once called the fallacy of representation. It is a topic I had written about before, but in case you missed it, this is what I said. If, in representing the people, as in a National Assembly member, a representative accumulates wealth and privileges through their public office, and such wealth and privileges enable the representative to live a better life than the average person they represent, what you have in that representative is a hustler at best and a criminal at worst. If you are a National Assembly member and you live better than the average person in your constituency because of the benefits and privileges you get from being a National Assembly member, then you are representing yourself first and foremost. You are just a hustler at best and a criminal at worst. Now, retrace the financial footsteps of all senior government officials. And by government, I mean those in the executive, the judiciary, and legislature. See what they had before becoming your public or civil servant, and what they had since accrued after becoming your civil or public servant. And don't listen to them telling you that they were rich before becoming ministers or senior government officials. That is a common excuse I have heard so many times. If they acquire wealth and privilege that enable them to live a better life than the people they serve, they are not serving the people, they are serving themselves. No public or civil servant should have to rely on the people's sweat, blood, and tears to enrich themselves at the expense of those they serve. Use the above as your yardstick to judge anyone claiming to be a public servant, and you will see that what you call a representative democracy is fallacious. Use the above as your yardstick, and you will realize that our very idea of government, the concept of public or civil service as it is practiced in this colonial space, is not only deficient, it is a scam. No one should get rich through service to the people when the riches are acquired through the blood, sweat, and tears of those they serve, when the people they serve remain in poverty. I can only hope that someday those of us immersed within this colonial space will realize that we are being scammed. I pray that day is within my lifetime.
Jah Oil, the company, have filling stations across the country, and our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Jah Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market.
Excellent jam, Wave.
Yo, apply. Yo, luta to dede. Luta mo nulo jël moto nga andil ma xaalis. Hello? Ano lay waxal?
Bisul mu fine.
What?
Bisul mu fine.
Oh, yes!
Wave Gambia. Deposit and withdraw money, pay bills and buy mobile credit without fees. Transfer money wherever in the country for only 1% fee. At Wave, Basel Mufine, Wave, your money is yours.
Welcome back. It's coffee time on West Coast Radio on Tuesday, the 27th of May, 2025. Now, big infrastructure projects are always controversial. Adequate transport, communication, water and power infrastructure enhances economic activity, efficiency and increased competitiveness. And President Baro has made the further development of the country's infrastructure, with special focus on roads and bridges, the central plank of his second presidency. Yet he's been bitterly criticized for what is seen as undue attention to roads, probably because of corruption, they say. Well, the man who has to account for the billions spent on building roads, bridges and other infrastructure on behalf of Baro is a long-lost friend, Mr. Ebrima Sillah, minister entrusted with transport works and infrastructure. He's actually one half of a once regular Ebrima duo on Coffee Time, the other being the government spokesman, Ebrima G. Sankare. Welcome, Sillah.
Thank you, Peter, and a very good morning to you after a long time on this program, and to all your wonderful listeners.
Where's your brother and namesake?
My big brother is currently in India completing his PhD dissertation.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to shock you.
Yeah.
He's in town.
Yes, I know about it. He came for the Tobaski.
He's here for the Tobaski.
Yes.
Yes, thanks for coming, and thanks for giving time to this program.
Thank you.
Let me just announce that Ebrima is here for as long as you have questions for him.
Exactly.
There's no emergency cabinet meeting today.
No emergency cabinet meeting.
Fantastic.
All attention is on you and your audience.
Fantastic. Well, let's start with some updates. I'm just trying to see the order we agreed we were going to. Yeah, the situation on the ferries. You and he's still GPA MD, is he?
Yeah, Mr. Jobate.
Os Jobate.
Yes.
Yeah, well, because we have this Alport arrangement, so
exactly.
we don't know who is what until you people clarify for us.
Yes.
You were in Holland recently.
Yeah.
Give us updates on the ferry that is about to be custom made for the Gambia, but maybe starting point the situation at Banjul Bara crossing.
Yeah, thank you so much, Peter. The situation at the Banjul Bara crossing points are extremely very promising. Since the re-engineering of Kanilai Ferry and the start of service at the end of April, we have seen a remarkable improvement in terms of service delivery, but also we have seen that almost all queues have been eliminated in Banjul particularly. In Bara, sometimes we do have some sleepovers because people are still used to this situation where they will come late at night, spend the night in Bara, and then cross with the first or second ferry. With the planned scheduling of 24-hour ferry system, we think that this should be completely eliminated. Now, what we have right now is that the two ferries are currently running, and Kanilai, interestingly, takes about 17 minutes to reach either end of the landing points.
17, 17.
Yes, 17.
And that's even faster than when they were new.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Because we have experienced some issues when the Kanilai was having some problems, and the engineers on the ground thought they could actually go around this by bringing in the new generation of engines rather than the ones that we know we are used to, the Caterpillar.
So you took out the so-called bus engines.
Yes.
That were fitted on
yes. Now we have this new generation of engines that actually are very good and fit for purpose, especially for the type of river that we have. And also the staff have been going through some refresher trainings, especially by the company that actually supplied us, the shuttle company that actually supplied us the engines. The chief engineer has been here for almost 4 months, working with our engineers. And we are now seeing a remarkable improvement in the service. Our ultimate objective is that once the new green ferry that is fitted with solar and also batteries come into operations, we should actually have 24 hours and we should not have sleepovers, especially in Bara. However, this will also come with some service level satisfaction by the Gambia Ferry services, because currently we are looking at having a situation where the ferry services will have its own board rather than depending on the board of the GPA for effective decision making processes, because most of the things that we do at the ferry services is basically social services. If they are able to break even, that's good. But even the fee that is paid is highly subsidized. And that is helping our people to be able to afford the crossing without much problem. Although in 2022, we had increased it a little bit just to be able to recover cost. But we are happy that the two ferries are running and we are not having major issues.
Well, everybody uses the ferry.
Yeah.
Senegalese use it, Gambians use it, people from Guinea-Bissau, people from other countries use it.
Yeah.
So why would the government, subsidize, the cost of tickets?
Yeah, well, if you look at what is being charged and you look at the operational cost of the ferries, there is a huge gap.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. It shouldn't be government's business to subsidize, because it's not only Gambians who are using the ferry.
It is not necessarily the government is putting money there, but we are putting a cap.
That's what subsidy is all
Yes.
about.
Well,
because they will have a shortfall, and then you will, top it up for them.
Yeah, through the GPS support.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we're doing that because we know that a lot of students depend on the services of the Gambia Ferry services, and I think they are
Give them tickets.
Yeah, we do, but at a very, very, very small
That's what
fee.
I'm saying. Give them tickets, or let them, let each school have a ferry service ticket.
Well, that's a very good business sense. Yeah. But as a government, we also owe it to the people in terms of social responsibility.
No, but I'm saying no. Why don't subsidize Senegalese? Senegalese will not subsidize Gambians. Right.
Well, everyone who crosses the ferry,
yeah.
You pay it at a reduced price.
That's what I'm saying.
Everyone.
We are losing money unnecessarily. All right?
But you also have to remember.
Give it to the school children. Give it to the police. Give it to the whatever. Let them have their card. This is what is happening in other countries.
In fact, that digitization process is coming, and we hope that will help the Gambia Ferry services recover a little bit.
Yeah, people, you talk about donor fatigue.
Yes.
So we have to manage the little we have,
we do.
Judiciously. Okay, so that's for the local ferry situation. Yes. So when will Kanilai join the ranks? Which is the third ferry? We used to have three of them.
Yes, that is the Johe.
Oh, it's Johe.
Okay. At the moment, the discussion is that maybe they will decommission the Johe because to bring it back to life will be extremely very expensive. Because of its makeup. This is what the engineers have been telling me. And the fact that now we have better plans in terms of investing in new, affordable, less costly ferries. I think it is better we concentrate on those ones.
Yeah, but the first of those won't be here
by December.
By December this year?
This year, yes.
Oh, this is a promise?
This is a promise, yes.
Okay. Right.
We were in Netherlands some 2-3 weeks ago, and I saw, firsthand the remarkable progress. In fact, they are well ahead of time in terms of the work schedule that was given to them. And we are very hopeful that this ferry will be delivered on time with all things remain constant. Because sometimes we have to also put into consideration global supply chain factors.
Exactly.
But in terms of work and everything, they are well ahead of time, and we are hopeful that the ferry will be brought into this country by December. However, our visit there actually opened my eye to a lot of things. I have seen that now Damen is actually graduating from using the metal and also wood to make boats and ferries and even vessels. They are using fiber, but made out of plastic.
Okay.
And this is extremely very strong. You don't have to go through the problem of corrosion to maintenance the boats. And actually, in many countries now, they are using the tugboats from diamond made out of plastic. And we had a small discussion with them to see if they can use a franchise in this country to make fiber boats and then, use this country as offsuit for other countries in the region. It will make a lot of sense because we do have tons and tons of plastic, in this country, in Senegal, in Bissau and other countries. And it will create a lot of jobs within the value chain and the ecosystem, because what will happen is that you can have people who can, pick this plastic and then, pack them somewhere, truckers also. And within the value chain, it creates a lot of jobs and opportunities. And also the overall importance is that you clean the environment and then, help all of us deal with these issues of climate change that have to deal with plastic. Yeah.
Sounds very attractive.
Yeah.
Only that it's not been tried, somewhere else.
Yes.
Instead, we are offering ourselves, as guinea pigs for this.
No, exactly. No, actually, it is happening in Ethiopia.
Oh, it's happening in Ethiopia.
It's happening in Turkey right now.
Oh, okay.
Also in Holland. In fact, Damen, we went to a whole workshop where you have line up of tugboats, military navy vessels, fishing boats that are made in tons. And also in Germany, in fact, Germany has the biggest manufacturing plant for this. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, so much for the ferries. Before we proceed now to talk about roads and whatever, and I'm expecting a lot of people to be asking about, what about the Mariamo Kunda Road? What about the Yuna Road?
Yes.
Just before you came on, we were listening to Alaji Baro.
Yes.
And as he was speaking, I saw you taking
notes
copiously. He's raised a number of issues that you feel you need to address.
Mouth-watering issues.
Yes. So let's take them in the order as you have them.
Yeah. Ever energetic, Alaji. I mean, always good to listen to him. He raised the situation of the pilgrims in Mecca. Yes, of course, this is a concern. But in some cases also, we do have a lot of misinformation in the social media where a lot of people pick their stories. And I've also had voice notes, from supposedly different people. I cannot verify whether those people are in Mecca or not. But what I can say is that I know the minister and the Hajj Commission and the ministry and the entire government are on top of this. Peter, Mecca is extremely very difficult. I was there in 2022. And what people normally complain as bad food actually is meant to help you, because this is a highly humid, country. This food is meant to help you build fiber and also other nutrients in your body, so that first you will not have to suffer from diarrhea or dehydration. And most of us in this country are not used to those type of foods, but they are extremely very healthy. Because even when I was there, I luckily did not go through the package Hajj program. I went through as a normal, pilgrim, just like all the others. I was mixing with them. We did everything together. I mean, we slept together, and I can tell you that I was also hearing similar complaints. Maybe because even being a minister, and when you are in the midst of people and they are not happy, they cry even louder.
Yes,
so that they know that you are hearing them. But for me, knowing what I know and what I have been told and what I have been asking around, the food that is given to Gambian pilgrims is what is normally given to most other pilgrims as breakfast. Because first, it has to help you to ensure that you don't dehydrate and then you don't also suffer from from running stomach. That is critical in Hajj, because if you have one of this, you may likely be sitting at the hotel a whole day. You will not be able to perform your rituals. Because
of the extreme, heat.
Yes.
Then, to dehydrate in that process could be very dangerous.
Exactly. I heard some people complaining that the water is not nice. I mean, I don't know what type of water.
They should try Kaulak water.
Yes, but not to, trivialize the matter. Any complaint about the situation in Mecca is taken very seriously by the government and also the ministry and the Hajj Commission. And really, we have doctors on the ground. We have highly experienced Hajj guides that work with the pilgrims. I doubt whether those people will see people in jeopardy or in danger, and they leave them in that situation without attending to them. Sometimes, there are a lot of politics in this, not necessarily party politics. I was in Mecca in 2022, and a lot of operators were not happy with the arrangement that was made by the Hajj Commission, because everything was like centralized, in the through the Hajj Commission, and operators thought that they should be given the leeway, and then the Hajj Commission, being the regulator, should not participate in the operations. And when we returned back, some changes were made so that operators could do a lot of things on their own, and then the Hajj Commission can have a watchful eye. If there were issues, then they could make sure that those things were amended. This year also, I think the arrangement has been that the hotel that has been chosen, it has VIP facilities. And some of the operators, what they have been used to is that they will have special places where they will put their own VIPs in, and those people will pay extra for those services. This year, I think that has not been made possible.
There are VIP
There are
places,
VIP
but
within the same hotel.
Extra money is not going to the operators.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I don't know whether these are some of the issues that are at play here, because, you know, some people can also be manipulated to say things that can make people frustrated and then angry. I am just thinking loud because I'm not there. I don't want to trivialize a situation that, is coming in as a complaint. But I'm happy that the Ministry of Religious Affairs has issued a statement.
Yes, strongly denying.
Yes, and then clarified. And they have even sent pictures of the type of food that is being served. And to be honest, when I was there, this is the same type of food that, people were served. The unfortunate thing is that a lot of our people that especially come from this country are not used to those type of foods. We have to admit, we have to understand, we are used to our rice, we are used to our benachin.
And our tulo.
Our tulo, but I heard that some Gambian cooks have also been arranged to travel with the Pilgrims to cook for Gambians, those that want to eat Gambian food.
Is this after the complaints or?
No, I think it has been part of the arrangement. Okay. I don't know whether they went with the Pilgrims or they've just arrived, but I know that this was arranged as part of the package.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's for Mecca?
Yes, that's for Mecca. And the other thing is about the farmers. The thing is that the Gambia government does not necessarily owe the farmers. What happens is that Gambia government is working with a service provider. And the service provider has enough funds, to pay the farmers. What happens is that when money is disbursed to the sectors, certain problems do emerge. Some farmers also don't want to be paid through the digital system that has been introduced. For some reason, yes, because they don't know about it or they are not used to it. But it's a very secure, safe way of, paying people. Because what a lot of us have been used to in the village is you go to the SECO, they give you money in bulk, you put it in a bag, you go to your house, and then anything can happen. So it is part of a modernization efforts to help our farmers deal with the current situation of modernity, but also, the use of digital technologies to be able to receive their monies. However, once this, because I had, it is mainly in the North Bank that had this problem. Once the problem persisted, government stepped in and has started paying almost all the farmers directly the way they wanted. Okay. Yeah. So that is resolved. So the other thing is about the GRTS covering the gala dinner. I want, as a former Director General of the Gambia Radio and Television Services and also former Minister of Information. Exactly. Yes, I want to put on record that even when I was there, since the dawn of the new era in 2017, we have been having a very strong, cordial relationship with all the political parties in this country as GRTS. And we have to also understand that wherever you have the president, normally the GRTS goes there. Now, this one was a political event. And as the Secretary to Information at the National People's Party, Suleiman, just said on this program, this government wants to encourage divergent views. At the end of the day, it does not reduce anything from the NPP, because we know that we are on a good standing. We know that, we have no internal issues and struggles for leadership. Oh. We know that, we are very focused and the eye is on the ball on, for 2026. Oh. With our...
This looks like coordinated language.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to tell you.
You're just re-echoing Suleiman Kamara.
No, I'm just trying to tell you. So for anybody to think that, giving coverage to the NPP for a one-night stand, will give an undue advantage to us. It's a complete misrepresentation of facts. The truth of the matter is that, in fact, the NPP has a bigger media platform now that can link...
Bigger than GRTS?
Well, of course. Bigger than any other media house in this country. Oh, really? Because we have a platform that can link 13 media houses at the same time, anywhere in this country. So the technology is there with the NPP. And you can see now the NPP relies heavily on itself to, coordinate our activities. For example, we can cover 13 live sports.
Yeah, but that
at the same time. No, I just want to tell you.
That does not determine the size of a media house.
No.
A media house's size is determined by its viewership, readership, listenership.
See, let me tell you.
I mean, you can have all this, but
as a journalist,
only 5 people.
Yes, no. But anytime NPP is on live, the NPP supporters go there, and we are talking of more than 400,000 people who voted for President Barrow. Even if we have 100,000 of that watching,
not all of them are NPP.
Well, yes, but you see, remember also that most of the time, those who will be watching a program may not necessarily be even your supporters. They want to know what you are saying, what is happening there, so that they can cut.
A lot of the opposition will be listening to you now for what you are saying.
For what I'm saying, yes. I know.
Yeah.
My friend.
Axila jam si Wave.
Yo, apply. Yo, luta do de. Luta mo nulo jël moto nga andil ma xaalis. Hello?
Bisul mu fay.
What?
Bisul mu fine.
Oh, yes!
Wave Axina Gambia. Deposit and withdraw money, pay bills and buy mobile credit without fees. Transfer money wherever in the country for only 1% fee. At Wave. Bisul mu fine? Wave. Your money is yours.
Than anyone else across the country. Jah Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market.
Yeah, but on this issue of GRTS, yes, wherever the president goes, state media goes with him. But usually, as I said to Suleiman, we're only interested in what the president has to say, not all the whatever before and the after. You're there for, the president's speech is expected around 9 o'clock. You mount your cameras, you set up. But you're not interested
but everything about the president
is anything that happens before 9 o'clock.
But everything is about the president is of interest to the people. Did you not see us dancing well?
Yeah, and we are saying.
Did you watch the program?
No, I didn't.
Oh dear, you missed a lot.
Did I?
You missed a lot.
Oh wow. No, okay. So that's for GRTS.
Yes.
Wherever the president goes, whether it's political or state, related, GRTS will go.
Well, I am not the Director General of the National Radio and Television Services. I mean, this is an editorial decision that lies on the Director General. Okay. But I can tell you that...
so they've done it, but they were not asked to do it.
Well, I wasn't, involved in it. I mean, as Minister of Works, I have a lot of things on my plate.
We'll have to bring Ablaisi to this platform.
Well, now, okay, the labor agreement.
Saudi Arabia per se.
Yeah. I want to say this here, that there are sufficient safeguards. Although we cannot entirely know what is happening behind the closed doors, and that is why the safeguards have been put in place, the reporting mechanisms have been put in place, and that everyone that is going to Saudi Arabia on this program is given specific numbers as hotlines that you can call if you feel threatened or if you feel abused. And those things are there as enough safeguards. And the Saudis also have signed an agreement with the Gambia government in ensuring that there is dignity in labor once these people go there. So the fears are well in place, but we can assure Alaji and anyone interested in this matter that Gambia government will not also sit on its laurels and see its citizens being abused without taking steps on that.
What do you make of the Foroya headline? And this is its editorial. You might want to pick up Foroya after here.
Yes, I do have it in the morning.
Government should heed Amnesty International reports on the Saudi labor market. Government should heed.
Yeah, well, we will read what Amnesty International says, and if there are needs for amendments to ensure that we enrich the program, we will do that. Also, remember that it is not only Saudi that we want to do this kind of programs. We have it with Spain and other countries as well. And the the methodology that we want to do is to ensure that there is similarity in terms of, benefit to the direct beneficiaries themselves, the people who are going to work, but also there are safety guards put in place to ensure that the abuses or likely abuses can be mitigated. Yeah.
All right, so much for Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
The girls in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, then the one-tier fiasco at the Serekunda market. Well, that's quite unfortunate. This is something that we have been used to in this country. I mean, this is the season for, everyone that wants to make some ends meet. And I think there is greater need for tolerance on both sides. I mean, I think the shopkeepers are in their right to say that where you are blocking people coming to us. And I think alternative, places can be provided so that those who want to, buy from the street vendors, because these are also Gambians, young people who are trying to make ends meet, and we should try and see how we can support them. I think the municipality and the government should work together on this. It does not serve anyone's purpose if we allow this situation to go on like this. Many of those people also that are selling in the street, I guess they also pay duty. That goes to the councils to give them some funding or some finances to be able to, add to their programs and their projects. And also the shopkeepers also who are paying monthly rent. So I think, there has to be a delicate balance here so that both sides can see the benefits in whatever they want to do. Yeah.
I think, you couldn't have answered it in a more diplomatic way.
Yeah.
But Talib, the mayor of KMC, he sat where you are now sat, and I put this issue to him. Apparently, KMC say they know nothing about the one-tier. They are against one-tier.
Oh, okay.
And the allegation is it's the police. It's the police who are organizing this one-tier. They give these people...
Police?
Yes, the police, the Gambia police force. All right,
think...
Let me come. I mean, some of us are privileged. We get information and we share it.
Okay.
And what you hear is, you're saying, these people who do one-tier are Gambians. Not all of them are Gambians. In fact, what you hear is, most of them are Senegalese.
Okay.
So they cross over, they come with their cheap wares and whatever.
Okay.
So they come.
I didn't know about that.
It's usually during 2 times in the year. Eid
Tobaski.
and, Idul Adha, Idul Fitr.
Okay.
All right. Now, and when Talib said, I said, look, I'm not against one-tier. I'm not against people coming from Guinea-Bissau, from Senegal. All right. Take them somewhere else.
Yeah.
All right. In front of the
market.
Covered, not market. I think, we should be fair to the people in the market.
In the market, yes. As I said,
Some people sit in the market
and they don't
for
have
6-7 months, they don't have a single sale. They are just waiting for Idul, Fitr first, and then Idul Adha, for them to have sales. In the meantime, they are paying
the rent
to KMC, sometimes monthly as well as daily. Monthly, daily. You have sales maybe at most only twice in the year.
Okay.
Yet when it comes your time to have sales, somebody is blocking access to your shop. That is unfair.
That is true. I mean, I totally agree.
And if the head of the municipality says he's against it and they have no hand in this, if it is the police, they have no business to be part of this.
Well, I'm surprised to hear...
And we should have an honest conversation around this.
Yes, but I'm surprised to hear that it is the police that are giving the tickets. I have never heard about this. In fact, all throughout my life as a public official, I've never heard that the police...
saying the people who do one-tier around the Serekunda market, they would all conveniently fit at Bakote, opposite the dump site. For this brief period, put them there. Right now, what do you have? Car washers, tuk-tuk washers, all right, for this period, all right?
Or anywhere convenient, even in a football field.
Take them to a football field or whatever. But definitely, to be fair to the people who sell at the market, no.
Well, I mean, it's a surprise to me. I never knew that the police were
But
selling
what worries
tickets.
me is that the police who have no business, I mean, because the
But
market
probably
has,
because
the
they
market
do
has
it
its
because
own
for
police.
security. Okay.
Okay,
I mean,
take that headache away from them. That
okay.
place is already, Serekunda market is already too congested. You want to do, wanted in that stretch, getting into Dipokunda.
But it's surprising because I thought wanted has been happening all, our lifetime, and to hear that it is the police that have been doing it, I'm surprised.
It has been happening all along.
Yes.
But because it has been happening all along does not mean that it has been happening the right way.
Of course.
So Talib came, looked at it, and did not see much benefit to the council.
But I think then that's where
So they come, they do all they wanted, they dirty the place, and they go off.
Yeah.
And then KMC gets blamed, for running the dirtiest municipality in the whole of Africa.
You are starting a major debate now. According to me.
According to Dr. Cisse.
No, let us not get there.
Yeah,
but I think
exactly.
I think
so this one tier thing is very sensitive.
Yes, it's sensitive, but I think also that's where the leadership of the municipality comes in here. I mean, I think it is important to engage the police or the Ministry of Interior, to have an amicable solution to the problem. Because, coming to the radio station, to say that I'm not aware is like running away from responsibility. And I think if it were me, having known that it is not the council that is not responsible, but the police, I would go to the police high command and discuss and then, come up with an amicable solution to the situation. And I think that's what we should do.
We put it to Talib just as we are putting it to you that these are rumors that we are getting. I mean,
if it is confirmed, then let the Lord Mayor go to the relevant authorities and discuss for an alternative site.
Yeah.
I think that should be
but
easy.
I think it is not right that somebody pays every month,
No,
every year,
I think
and then you bring somebody and they block access to their business.
I don't want to go into the right or wrong of the situation. I mean, I totally agree that, those that are selling in the market and they are paying monthly or daily rates should be given some form of respect and opportunity to also, use
Take
this.
them to Bakote. There's enough space at Bakote.
Yes. But let the municipality take their responsibility seriously.
I agree. It's entirely their responsibility. Even if the police that is rumored to do it, should be Talib's responsibility to sit with the commander of is it KMC or not KMC?
The Kanifing Command.
Kanifing Command, yes.
And I think...
And crash this thing out. I'm hearing that your men and women are people behind the... And they investigate. And if they are them, they punish them. And if they are not, they say, we have no business in this. Where do you want the wanted to take place? And he shows them a place.
And then, I'm sure the government will be ready to provide the necessary security for the people that are doing the wanted there so that, they don't suffer from, petty thefts and all those little things.
Okay.
We are a very consummate government. You know that. So now the suit on site policy of the army. I don't know whether it's a policy or it's a response to an emergency situation.
Well, it's an order given by the
that's what I'm saying.
the CDS.
Yes, but I don't know whether it's a response to an emergency situation in a certain part of the country.
Well, the spate of armed robberies.
Yeah, but armed robbers come armed.
Yes, of course. And, that's why they're called armed robbers.
Yes. So when the army confronts those type of armed men trying to harm people, what do you expect? They have to demobilize them. And in some cases, demobilizing mean maybe shoot, to ensure that, you don't kill, but, you can demobilize them in a way that you can get them arrested and take them to the law. So
I know it's been translated as shoot to kill, but actually what he said was shoot on sight.
Shoot on sight.
And shooting on sight does not necessarily mean shooting to kill.
Shoot to kill.
Yeah.
Maybe let me sip your coffee.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. All right, so Ebrima Sillah is with us for, a considerable length of time still.
Yeah.
So that was responding to Alaji. That's all now, all right? Yeah.
And I think probably we can encourage Alaji to go into politics and public life. Because he always have...
You're not suggesting that Alaji is...
No, what I'm saying is he has all these issues that... he talks about. I mean, things that he complains about. And in some cases, it's good also to be a direct participant so that, you can get what you want, the type of government that you want. Because
so you want him to run for office?
Why not? Because with all the complaints that I hear him on a weekly basis.
As NPP, would you welcome him to
why not?
NPP?
Let him come to us. NPP, we are open to ideas. You know, we don't elbow people out.
I can already see, the heading for the next, Alaji Baro essay.
Yes, Alaji Baro invited. But by the way, I mean, I am a keen listener of this program, and I always listen to his essays.
Yeah, he's good.
Quite
I mean,
keenly,
he brings up issues which,
But Peter, I always say, you see, any criticism of us as government, we tend to benefit more. You know why?
No.
Because if you say it, whether genuinely or not genuinely, it is us who will benefit more from it, because we have to evaluate what you have said. And if we see the need to amend, we amend. If we need to see, to discard, and that is why it is an issue, a very serious issue for the opposition. Because if you don't talk, people will say that you are not efficient, you are not, credible, you are not doing anything. And if you talk also, you are helping us to improve on our policies, to improve on whatever we are supposed to do and deliver. If you make trash talk, it will come back on you, because we'll come back and debunk what you say and we bring the facts. So the thing is, government being in the lead and in charge is always really the biggest beneficiary of any form of criticism, genuine or not genuine. Absolutely. So that is why for some of us, we listen to programs like yours, we listen to Alaji and the others, because no matter what, in every criticism, you tend to benefit a lot from it as a government. And then you can move and make a bigger amend. And then those that are not credible in what you say, we can come and debunk them. You see what I have done with the clarification of a lot of things that he said? That is, to me, a very healthy process in this country that we have to encourage.
I think it was wrong to move you out of the Ministry of Information. I know you are happy.
No.
I know
I'm finding it difficult to fit in the shoes of Dr. Cisse this morning.
All right. He feels flattered.
Yes.
Let's move from one end of, the Banjul, ferry terminal to the next. That is Banjul Port.
Banjul Port,
Give us an update on what's happening there with Alport before we now talk about, the deep sea port project.
Okay. Thank you so much. The things are going on very well. In fact, we have been pleasantly surprised by the rapid progress that we have seen at the port of Banjul. For the first time, I guess, in many, many, many years, we've not had any form of congestion.
We don't have congestion anymore.
No, we don't have congestion anymore. And in fact, thankfully, we have written to the Ministry of Trade to inform, the businesses and also the shipping lines that congestion charges in the Gambia should now be eliminated completely, because we no longer have congestion at the port of Banjul.
You think that information will be communicated? Gambians, when they are used to getting flow?
Yeah, we have written.
Okay.
And the ministry has, I think, convened a meeting, or they have written to the businesses and also the shipping lines to inform them of this major development. Right now, if you go to the port, in fact, it is the port that is waiting for the vessels, because they, in most cases, cannot match with the speed at which these people work. I have been there several times, and I have seen the remarkable progress that has been made. And so far, we have no ship in line or in queue. Almost everything has been cleared. Also, we have seen the arrangement at the port grounds. It is extremely very good now. We are moving to the next stage of digitization, especially with gate passes and a whole lot of things. The Alport, which is the subsidiary now of the concession, is using technology to achieve a lot of things. And that's what I once said on this program, that big players in this sector are able to direct traffic to wherever they are. And it is always difficult for governments to compete with them, because you don't have the capacity and you don't also have the technology and probably the contacts to be able to deliver the efficiency with which they are able to do. And we are happy that the concession has taken off the ground with a very good promise, and we hope that this will be maintained and continue. And we also have in place a very strong, robust monitoring mechanisms in place that will always give us the opportunity to, augment our activities or adjust wherever necessary.
The bone of contention as regards Alport Banjul is not their, capacity, their ability, to deliver better service at the port, but it's the cost at which that is coming. I mean, you're going to split income on an 80-20 basis. They take 80.
Well, I think
they've not come with new equipment. I don't think there's any new equipment yet, and all
that is on the way.
But already they've taken off, and already they are making 80 out of what they found already invested by the people of the Gambia.
No, I think that is a misunderstanding of the concession.
Clarify that.
Because if you look at the concession, it is done in such a way that there are other benefits that are accruing to the government. First, for example, if you look at the volume at the end of every year, 4% of that comes to the Gambia government. That is actually more than the revenue that was being generated by the Gambia Ports Authority, and that is coming from this concession proceeds. We also have all the staff in the operations that are going to be maintained. There are other, financial benefits. For example, we sit on the board, and then, the Gambia government has a bigger say in the process. We still maintain a lot of services that are also going to make money to the Gambia. It's only the operations that is concessioned out. But the mooring services and also other services.
How lucrative are those compared to the 80-20 they have gone for?
No, because in the port services, remember, the containerized services and also bulk cargo is the biggest money-making.
Which is where they are making their 80%.
Which is, yes, exactly.
Giving 20. So
but remember, that 80% also is where they are paying all other services, right? If you look at
including wages
and also overhead, running the port, and all other things. So our 20% is intact, and also our 4% gross revenue. Okay. So I think
that's good. That's good clarification.
Yes. I think there are constituent benefits that are accruing to the state that a lot of people actually don't understand.
Yeah, because you people don't tell people.
No, we do. Remember, I sent you one text when you were, I think, on this program. It was a long one, though.
It wasn't, it could not have been as good as you sitting here and breaking it down. That's why we're giving you, all the time you need.
Yeah, but I remember MD Jabate has been on this program several times, and then he has been saying these things better and more eloquently.
Probably because he's been appearing so much on the program.
You couldn't even remember.
No, people just simply say, well, there he goes again.
Yes.
Okay, what about the deep sea port aspect of this arrangement with Al Bayrak?
Well, that is also on course.
That is on course?
Yeah, that is on course.
Given what we heard about, your difficulty with the people of Sanyang?
Well, I think that was initial misinformation going around.
Oh, again, misinformation.
Yes. But, myself and the MD were in the forefront of this. And we have thrust out every issue with the community of Sanyang. In fact, we allowed them to identify for us the place that they think we can use as the port.
Oh, they've done that now?
Yes, they've done that. We've in fact, what they gave to us is enough for what we need.
Not as much as you were asking for first time.
Well, when you are going into something, you go with ambition, because we are building a port for the future. What happened to us in Banjul, we don't want that to happen to us in Sanyang. So you really need sufficient space and land to be able to have your port, but also, to have other ancillary services that can, support the port services. So we are very happy with the outcome of our engagement with the VDC, the community of Sanyang, and what they call the task force. highly educated people, very, very, highly experienced people. Some of them retired from the United Nations. Some of them, in fact, have done this type of work in other countries.
Don't underestimate these small communities.
Yeah. I mean, I was really, pleasantly surprised about the experience that I saw in Sanyang. And they guided us, they supported us, they helped us. And we brought in the experts to also do the site studies for us, and then they have confirmed that we can build the port there. And they also interestingly,
this is a new location different from what you had originally identified.
Well, for us, I mean, remember in 2013, the Royal Ascony of Netherlands did a study about where a possible deep sea port could be done. That is, and they identified Sanyang, but where in Sanyang was not identified in the document. So for us, we were ambitious that we were going to Sanyang, but where in Sanyang, we could not agree. But interestingly, the VDC also did their own studies. I mean, I was very impressed. I was very surprised. They came out with this.
Their chair sat here and said they did their own studies.
Oh, yeah, they did their own studies. I was privileged to be given to this, and also the MD, and we were really very impressed. So what we are doing right now, in addition to the land that has been allocated to us, we are going, inward,
further out,
to the sea,
into the
which like probably 2 to 3 kilometers, in, and then build, breakers, to ensure that a port facility is there.
Is that to protect their black sand, as they were saying, because they were suspicious of this whole deep sea port?
Yeah, well, I mean, those suspicions were there initially. But we have been able to actually, dealt with all these, misconceptions and, the suspicions and all the problems. The deep sea port is not about mining. I mean, our business is not to mine anything. It is to build a port facility and also, to have a place where we can have the auxiliary services so that we can have a modern port operations in that place.
Fantastic. Well, looks like a lot is happening, unbeknownst to the public. Maybe we should be dragging you here every, now and again. Yeah, because, you're one of, the ministers that are most, in public view by virtue of, what you have to do, to deal with the roads.
Yes.
We're driving on roads all the time.
Yeah.
If we complain, we are complaining about the inefficiency of Ebrima Sillah.
Yes.
And if we are happy, we are, happy about the efficiency of Ebrima Sillah.
Jah Oil. The company have filling stations across the country, and our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Jah Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market.
Axel James Wave.
Yo, apply. Yo, luta do dede. Luta mo nulo jël moto nga andil ma xaalis. Hello?
Busel mu fine.
What?
Busel mu fine.
Oh, yes!
Wave Axina Gambia. Deposit and withdraw money, pay bills and buy mobile credit without fees. Transfer money wherever in the country for only 1% fee. At Wave. Busel mu fine? Wave. Your money is yours.